What's going on, everybody? Today we traded Netflix and we traded SPY, and I'm gonna break down exactly how I found these trades, how I traded them, and a little tip or two for you guys to become better traders. So we're gonna hop straight into the weekly time frame on Netflix, and you can see this nice zone that I drew here. This is a supply zone at this point, right? Because we have this supply, or AKA the price coming down, right? A huge drop, and that created, this was created from this drop, right? This zone here. I used a green candle and this red candle, and we pretty much dragged it all the way across. And you could see we respected it as resistance right there. Why? Because the candle close couldn't really close inside of it, right? It has a wick at the top and a body, so you got to pay attention to both. Long story short, got above it, got back above, got back above it. And when we pulled back, we came down to hold this bottom part of the zone as support. This is where we was looking for some nice trades, and we're going to zoom in to that area. So we're going to go straight to the 15-minute chart so we could get you straight into the action, right? We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So today is Wednesday, so we're gonna zoom in. But before we zoom in, we're gonna pay attention to these moving averages. You got the yellow, you got the 50. Well, sorry, the yellow is the 50, the 9 is the blue. Long story short, one is long term, one is short term. And the short term crossed above the long term, which created a bullish indication for me. And another bullish indication for me is once you trade outside of this zone. We already said we got the bounce from this zone as support, which gave me the bullish bias that we should be traveling up. The question is, how far up will we travel, right? We already got the momentum. And the question is, how far could we travel up? So I'm just riding this trend as we're pushing up until it shows me it's over. And the crazy thing is that we're in a bear market overall. If you track the SPY, which is the S&P 500, that tells us we are in an overall downward market, aka a bear market. So taking any calls or any bets that the price will go up when the market is saying down is a little bit more risky. So I did call that out in my Discord. That is a riskier play. And we ended up getting into this play because of everything that I just said, right? That bullish bias. But this was it, right? This was the one thing that told me it's game time. All right. So you see this high that we created yesterday. All we got to do is just draw a line. That's all you got to do. Bow. That line, just by doing that one thing, created an opportunity for you to make money, right? Just seeing that candle close above that, and we have sorry, I'm moving too fast. Let me zoom in so you can see. Once this 15-minute candle closed above that level, that gave me validation that we should be moving up. I looked at this trade from a lower time frame, checked it out on the 1 minute time frame, but you can see on this 5 minute, this 9 EMA is serving as a area of support. And you can see when we closed above, I actually entered because I wasn't sure if he was going to continue pushing up, but that price ended up pulling back. So we entered at 85 cents and we held it, right? It expired this week, Friday. We're about 2.5 days away from that at this point, and we held this all the way up to this point. And if we take a look at the 5 minute, actually I'm lying, it wasn't this point. We held it, and we held it a little bit higher up to this red candle here, right? 10:51 was the time we got out. You can see this candle says 10:50. So after seeing that there is some, see these wicks, see the wicks on the top? That's telling you we're trying to go up, but we're being pushed down. We're trying to go up, but we're being pushed down. At this point, I was up 180%, right? As we're traveling up, we're probably up like 50 something percent. Went up some more, but up about 80 something percent. Why didn't I take profit? Because I had confidence that this momentum will carry us up further, as long as we're staying above this EMA. And the other things that I was seeing on the SPY and overall market was telling me we still have momentum along with this volume, right? And this is still the first hour of the market. And usually if we choose a direction with this amount of strength, then we usually have a decent amount of follow through. Another reason why I decided to hold is because if you look at the left, you can see this is a previous high, right? We closed above it with this candle there, right? I'm gonna just draw that. That's a high. Then you got this one. That's a high, right? And then you got this one. That's a high as well. And then you could draw this support just like that. So just like that, I created myself a battlefield for where I expect the price to bounce off of, right? It has to get through each level to get to the next level, right? Obviously, I would love for it to get to this level and maybe all the way up here, but I gotta play it level to level. What that means is this one closed above that level, so I'm going up to the next one. Okay, we closed above this one, so I'm going up to the next one, right? Notice how it came back down to hold this as support to make sure, and give us confidence that we can move up. So I'm gonna explain a little bit more about the details and, the little stuff you need to look at exactly for the confirmations and the patterns and just the whole simple way of how to remember this stuff. I'm going to be explaining that in my online university, which is pretty much a few weeks from being available, and you guys are going to have access to that, right? You just got to click the link in the bio to see the details and sign up. And yeah, so this is going to be information and everything that I know about pretty much technical analysis from beginner to advanced. And we're just gonna break down everything so that I don't have to tell you what my strategy is every single video, right? And just as a highlight, this trade, we bought it for 85 cents and sold it for $2.30. So that was 180% play. And yeah, you can see after that we pretty much dropped. So next play was on QQQ. Actually, we did take technically I held it, right? I'm not gonna lie, right? I held it. It was a small position for me, and it was a next day expiration. So we bought calls around this demand area. It gave us a nice signal, and then it ended up just dropping crazy at the end of the day. And honestly, that one, it is pretty much like, I would say 90% down. And the reason why I didn't close, because it was a smaller position and I was factoring the whole position as a risk for this trade. So that is the reason why. And that's the advantage of options, right? You decide how much you want to lose. And you decide that based on different factors, but the biggest thing is how much you put up, which is what I factor in when I take my trades, right? Some trades you want to load up, some trades you really don't want to load much at all, and then some trades you want to stay out. So understanding trading is going to help you understand how much confidence you have in a setup, so that you could put up more money. And also, if you don't have confidence, that's going to tell you to put less money, right? And as you trade more and more, you're going to get more of a feel for what that feels like, what it looks like, and then it just becomes second nature. All right, so we got SPY, right? We talked about that big move down on QQQ, the one that actually took my money. All right, now as I'm seeing this fall, this is the cool thing about options, is that you could actually play and make money on a move down. So as I'm pretty much losing in QQQ, I decided to grab put options on SPY and ride some of this move down, I believe. Now let me give you the bigger picture context of this. This is interesting. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna create a whole new drawing. Let's see if we could. Let me just use this here, and I am going to just delete that. Now you can see this move down, right? That move looks like a pole, right? And then we got this bear flag that I was predicting could be forming, possibly. And the reason why I'm looking at it like that is because I've been doing my research and just seeing, okay, when we create these lower highs, not lower highs, higher highs in a downtrend, sometimes I get caught up. I'm like, okay, higher highs, higher lows, but then the price just goes crazy on everything and just drops. So long story short, I started to notice. Actually, shout out to Chris Sane, because I watched one of his videos and it was all about bear flags and bull flags and how they form in different ways, and it just made me think, man, like the market really just sets up flags all day, and you just got to be able to see it as it's forming to catch that next move, or even trade it as it's in that range. So this is what I did. I just drew this upper trend line, and I like to use the same trend line, so I just duplicated it, and then I just dragged it across. I can't remember exactly where I dragged. I'm doing this all over again from scratch to show you guys, but I mean, I could obviously put it here. That would make sense. Let's see what the 15-minute chart looks like, and that's going to give us more information on how we could draw. Now let's see, if I take this one and I want to connect it here, right, and I'm going to see the best level that is being respected, which is that one. Now notice the difference. Yeah, this level is being respected by the wicks, but this is also being respected here as support, here as resistance, and then also it includes this action there. So that's why I like that line better, and I'm going to delete this, delete that. So this is the real line, and we're just going to duplicate it, and then we're going to drag it. Now notice how this one lines up a whole lot better, right? And just like that, you could see we actually are respecting this right there. The candles couldn't close, bounced as support, similar but didn't touch, and then we're going to just extend that. So we can see we tried to bounce there as support, but notice we're still under this EMA, right? Let's notice we're still under that EMA. And I believe once I seen the drop under there, I took some puts, and I feel like it was one of these drops, right? I gotta look at which one it is. I know it wasn't end of day, so it was probably this drop, right? Once we got outside, and I've grabbed some calls, not calls, puts for 18 cents, and then sold it for like 36 cents. So it was a 100% trade, but it wasn't, small. It was small size, but that just proves what you could do with options in a short amount of time, and you could make money on the way down when the even if you thought the price was gonna go up and you're actually losing. So it just shows you, yeah, you could be versatile. You have a lot of options, quote, no pun intended, but actually pun intended, because there's just a lot of options. You got calls or puts, you got different expirations, and then you got different strikes, and then you got the option if you want to risk the whole thing, because that's all you're gonna lose. So there you go. We got the options workshop, link is in the bio. If you're watching this video, you got a free 30-minute one-on-one. We could go over any questions you have about trading, learn how to draw some of this stuff, and yeah, just let me know. Follow me on Instagram, like this video, Subscribe if you want to see some more videos, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.